Yes, that was my cough that you heard prior to getting onto the show. So I'm not 100%, but I am back. Keith, interesting weekend of racing last weekend. But, of course, we've got a nice couple cards coming up for this weekend.
We do. We got stakes galore tomorrow. Looking forward to it. The weather is moving right in our favor. I love the way things are shaping up for this weekend. We got a tricky little 10-race card. We got lots of action all the way through. Lots of races. Great opportunities abound for you this weekend here at Laurel Park. Welcome back, John Levin, our site supervisor, the kind of man that leads the way for us. Been away a few months, so glad to have him back. And thanks to Tim Tullock for filling in for you last week. I know you were out having a pretty good little time, I think. Maybe somewhere out west.
Out west, Mile High City. Mile High City. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on the track. Of course, Keith, we were talking about it earlier. Sealed, but potential for this to open up.
Absolutely, and we've got a little bit of the wind gust up to 20, and I think this track is going to dry out very, very quickly. They'll probably open it up here shortly. 58 minutes until post time. We'll keep you apprised of that situation, but Look at this.
Nesting.
Yes.
Is it nesting? Resting. Resting. So let's get back to this. As you mentioned, tricky at 10 race card. Let's start with that early pick 5, then that starter optional 20,000. 6 furlongs on the dirt for the girls. 3 end up scratching the 1 Black Ice, scratching the 7 Devil Pays in Gold. Keith, you have the 1A Sister Supreme on top. This is in the barn, of course, of Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez.
Yeah, I think Matitude's the horse to beat. We'll get back to her. We'll talk about her. But Sister Supreme, Jamie Ness has just had a ton of good fortune claiming these mares, fillies and mares, the older ones as well. The last 3 years, he's 64% with the fillies and mares first off the claim and jumping up in class. And we're going to have that today. That ROI is 371. 3 wide, shifted 5 wide against Matitude when that one was forward the whole way. Track that day, speed, it was hard to make up any real ground. She's going to have to jump up and run close to a top in here, Callie.
Yes.
But I think she's going to get put into a stalking position, some speed to her inside with Matitude, with possibly Ashley's Ring. I think Bourbon Wildcat stands a good chance in here as well. But to stalk, give you a little bit more value in the opener. With the 1A, the part of the entry that stays for Ness, Sister Supreme, he's poised to have a big day as well. Even Kieran's lined up with a lot of live horses.
Yeah, I think I think I have a bit of a typo in mind. We'll get back to that for the afternoon, but I do have Matitude on top, as do you for Robbie Bales, Horacio Caramanos. Let's take a look at that effort from last time out in that win.
This was a good effort, and man, back-to-back wins, reclaim for Robbie Bales, this time for John C. Kenworthy, but a really good effort. She was able to kind of prompt a very, very quick horse in Speak Your Mind for Susan Cooney, and she just makes this move right up on the attack, gets the lead, and holds sway late. 6 o'clock, Sarah comes with that run. But the key with Matitude, she's kind of been breaking better. Now, she's been given the outer post the last couple times.
Right.
I think that's possibly maybe helped her mentally with everything. So now today she has to go in the middle of the pack, basically. See how that happens. You know, how does she react within that? But I think if she breaks cleanly, I mean, I think she'll be right up on the edge and dealing with Ashley's Ring, and then they're going to have to come get her through that last eighth of a mile.
And you said it, just getting confidence out of these last couple of starts and hoping to keep that going there in race number 1. Let's go ahead to race number 2. Keith, this starts your early pick 4, of course. And what do you have lined up for us?
Yeah, we had a couple later scratches. We had to do a few adjustments for our early pick 4, but we got it done. It's still a very reasonable ticket of $15. Single to get you started in race number 2 with Common Prosperity. This horse is going to be a really, really short price, I think, for Ness. Then we spread 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 in race number 3. Race 4, just too deep there with Minx's Lucky Starfire for Kieran and Gary Capp. Gary Capp set up to have a good weekend as well.
Yes, he does. Yes.
And then we'll wrap it up in the 5th with 3 horses, the 2, the 5, and the 8. A little reunion of sorts. Tate back with its old owner, Robert Cole.
Yep, there we have it. $15 for Keith Fusel there in that early pick 4. Let's talk this maiden claiming 12-5. That does start that first leg going a mile for the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. And your single, Common Prosperity, we discussed this, Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez, kind of the horse to beat. Your single in your early pick 4.
I gave you a 60% stat in the opener for Ness. There's about 50%. He's 9 for 18 the last few years. 14 of 18 in the money. Maiden claimer second off the claim. ROI, not so great, $1.84, but still, it kind of speaks volumes here. You've got a horse like Money Room that's been trying over 22. I'll still use into the mix. But Common Prosperity got good position and they're pretty good internals on a track that has some moisture. It still might hold a little bit here, but Toast to Coast, that was the key. Flat or dead effort last time out, made that boot. Toast to Coast comes back to win. And I think that horse beat In Trust, and In Trust came back. So a lot of good keys there for Common Prosperity. A shorter price should be pretty forward in here from the get-go.
And then you also talk about Bridge to Success. Mikey Giral is 20-1 morning line with Andreas Chavez, coming out and stretching things out again.
Yeah, third off of a break, just looking for a little bit of value underneath. Can you really trust Money Room? But Bridge to Success has a couple numbers to go back on. Doesn't have any exceptional strong move, but can stay on against this group. I like the couple horses that he's faced. Where's Ray, who came back to run a big number. Band Camp, third off of a break, has gone long. And, you know, the 3-back try on the 9th, shuffled break 7 wide. Brutal trip from the 11 post, and you had to be inside, and speed was good that day. I'll give him a shot at a big number for our man Lapidus, who sounds like he's back in town, according to the very nice Patty Parks, who cuts our hair.
Okay, there we go. On top of that, Mikey Giral is 3 for 11 when stretching them out as of lately, so that certainly will help things as well. 2-5-7-1 for Keith Fusel there in his first leg of his early pick 4. Second leg is race number 3 in the starter allowance, going a mile on the dirt. Scratching the 1A, Cloud Music. Scratching the 4, Viking Queen. You land on Severe on is the 1, but is breaking from the 8 for Jamie and Jamie.
Yeah, I mean, interesting that it's a reclaim and a protect. And the way the barn has gone, you know, month after month after month, I'm ad nauseum with this, I've got to respect. Mile and 8 shortening up to the 1-turn mile, I think has to be aggressively ridden through the opening quarter of a mile to make sure he gets clear. If he gets that heat, he's going to fight. I just don't know if he can go the whole way. I think everything's going to hinge on the opening, 5/16 of a mile for Severe. I like his races. He's just, look at this, 30 for 78. All he does is win. He's going to have to get out there, though, and hopefully control things. Ace 99, the horse to beat, a red-hot horse here. Kieran McGee, Bob Beck. Got everything its own way, though, last time. But, he's versatile. He's shown that ability to drop in and right behind horses and make a move. The form that he's held, yes, he's going to be tough. He's going to be a shorter number in race number 3. Uncaptured Storm. Interesting, kind of maybe a give up or just maybe a confidence boost last time. I don't know how you read into that, Callie, but the Maldonado barn, sometimes, they'll go in for these claims 5, and these horses do strike. Percentages haven't been great, but we've seen, I think he had a horse, maybe it was the other Maldonado. Joel had one strike that they claimed off of Ness, Strugar, that ran big. So this guy knows how to win, gets position. He doesn't have to be too far back against this group either. Clubman as well. Okay. Clubman, I was even a little bit more moisture, but he was against the flow, made that early move. Ace 9-9, had plenty left. Right back for Troy Singh. He's definitely a user in here.
Nope, absolutely. I had him underneath there. Okay. 1-5-2-3 for Keith Fusel in race number 3. Race number 4 is a mile and 16, 2 turns on the dirt for the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, and this maiden claiming 45. And scratching the 5-finger roll, you and I land on Intrepid's Legacy, just looking for that little bit of luck here. Second time routing for Gary Capuano.
And we talk about, you'll see Intrepid Dream, right, tomorrow in the Heavenly Cause. Probably going to be favored in there. These are they're all big, this family. But this colt, I thought ran well. I thought he was a winner at the 3/8 pole. The Pletcher horse was under a grind inside. He got off the inside and wore this one down. But Intrepid's Legacy now going third time out and going for a barn. Here's a little stat for you. Third out over the last 3 years on the dirt. 8 for 20, 16 for 20 in the money with an ROI of 245. The family, we know this horse can handle the route of ground. Second route here. Prompts the issue, may even go to the front and try to take it from there. But I think we've got a video here of the 3 Minx's Lucky Starfire. This horse is doing really well off the claim. Since claimed, 4 races back for 20 for Kieran McGee. The Lasix gone on, was a gelded, and he's just become a different horse. Shows speed early, has to kind of ease back off of the Brittany Russell trainee Brady Bear here into the turn. Brady Bear is able to pretty much control it from there. But I thought all in all, he comes back. He's a little bit, what do you say, he's just a little bit green. I don't know what you'd call this, erratic. You know, he was just difficult. Yeah, laying on that left lead. Jock's trying to do everything he can, hitting left-handed. But, man, he just still keeps going. And if you're, you know, we talked about the other day with Tim, the weight factor, which I don't look at it a lot, carried 124 that day. 108 today. I'll have to double check if there was an overnight overweight or not. Toralba, you're getting that one. So one of these two, it looks like to me. I think Marty's Magic will get good position inside. Just needs to hike things up a little bit.
Jock was trying ever since the half-mile pole. So, yeah, just one that needs to just constantly have somebody on him. So as long as Tori Alba can do that, I can see that working very well. The rail horse, you have Marty's Magic. You mentioned Topaz, Toledo, and then also Costner. Mikey Jones Jr. with Angel Cruz.
Just an interesting move here, like a give-up Encino, who you're going to see right down at Keeneland, I think today or tomorrow. I think maybe tomorrow. And in for 15, you know, a little bit worried about the purchase price and everything like that, so they were ready to give up. But looking at the dirt for him and the family, both siblings were very good going long on the main track. So, you know, just a flyer in there that might bump up a little bit of a price.
Why not? 15-1 there underneath for Keith Fusel in race number 4. Race number 5 starts at the Rainbow Pick 6. Unfortunately, I have an expensive ticket. I got it. You said it was tricky, and I was scratching my head at a couple of these. I just really couldn't come up with any solid horses that I liked, and I just I've got it because I had to have a single, and so I go on a Jerry Robb horse in the last race. But my goodness, some of these races that we'll get into, but most notably the 4 wide in race number 7 in that claiming 20,000. We have a scratch of an uncoupled entry, but 6 furlongs on the dirt. Interesting enough, like I said, $43.20. I would definitely split with a friend on this kind of card here today, Keith.
That 10th race, I wouldn't feel comfortable unless I had the all button. That's how inscrutable that race was for me. So good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Best of luck to me and to anybody playing that Rainbow Pick 6 today. We start with a bit of a new pool.
Okay.
This claiming 5,000 going 2 turns on the dirt for this first leg for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch in the 1, Miracle Silver. The 9, Shackled Love. The 10, Rocky Dice. You go with Tate. You got Tate back in. Damon Deal DeVico, Horacio Caramanos is still in for the 5.
Yeah, back with Cole. Had him back in 2022. The last 5 starts for Cole, 5 seconds. So they're going to try to get the win with this guy. He wants his picture taken with this animal. And, man, what a race that he ran last time. Bumped around at the break. Lost the irons. Rojas, she never got him back. This guy just kept on running. He was giving effort every step of the way. It looked like he's not the same old Tate, but I'm going to give him a shot here going for Damon DeVico, who can get these older horses off the claim to run well. Looking at how the flow and this race is going to set up. Maybe Krug, I think, will go. I think he's got a little bit more than what he showed last time. Gets the eased comment here. I think we'll see some improvement. Toledo here for Maldonado. Grand Manor possibly go. But Tate, you know, everything's tied on. Let's get to the inside. Let's track and go on with it here. And getting the condition today out of the opens into the 1 and 6 months or 4 in life.
Yep. You also have strong finish underneath Bob Glaceris, Gina Vello. A horse you just have to keep on your ticket.
Yeah, I think, the one thing with him, he's dropping again, also getting the condition. He rode off a couple good races and then just bit off a little bit too much against the last couple. And he might have laid a little too close. I think he's a horse that might want to come from a little bit further back. Alvello certainly capable to monitor that, that pace up front, draft in, save a little bit of ground, and bring a run.
I like your pickup on Krug there on the number 5 here in race number 5, starting at that Rainbow Pick 6. But let's go to our jackpot. Before we get to that, we will be right back after this commercial break.
And they're off.
super high five, is a maiden special weight effort for these 3-year-olds. Scratch in the 2, scratch in the 6. Keith, you have the number 3, Determined Candy, first-time starter for Phil Schoenthal. Vic Carrasco takes the call here.
Yeah, a little flyer in here. I thought this was a tricky race. Summer Ready, big effort. We'll get to that one. But Determined Candy by Candy Ride, $130,000 purchase. Full Sister, 1 debut on the turf. The Mare, 1 debut synthetic. But there's other, you look deeper. Second Dam was a winner on dirt. There's dirt within this family. And for a barn, they can get them to win first out. 3 for 17 the last couple years. 7 for 17 in the money with the firsters. More so maybe a little bit on the turf, but the strong ROI, 674. He's had some horses running well of late. The works look forward to me. Shot at a little bit of a price here in race 6. You've got a firster in Westeros. We'll talk about that one as well. But let's Summer Ready. We have the video of that one.
We do. We certainly do.
In
of
the
this
6th
effort.
race?
Yep, of this effort from the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Last time out for that maiden 50.
Kelly Rubley back in town. She's been down in New Orleans the last couple years and has caught a couple price horses down there. Summer Ready, speed, made a little move to kind of separate. Just gives up ever so slightly, very late with jockey Ben Curtis. Ben Curtis, here today.
Right.
A fixture over in the UK, ended up settling down in New Orleans for the winter, had a pretty good meet down there as well. Good rider. Pay attention. We'll see if he's going to be kind of settling in the Mid-Atlantic. But that was a good race debut. And you key up the horses. This is kind of restricted, I guess, for the sales prices and everything like that. That winner was a Brendan Walsh horse. Ran a 71-74 Buyer Prior. And the next horse, a 69 in a maiden special weight. Comes out of good fields, or Summer Ready, faced horses that were out of good fields down at the fairgrounds. Key the break, get forward. I think will be a forward present. Has to deal with Irish Hero. Maybe lets that one go. I think this is definitely rateable today to make that move into the pace. A little bomb shot maybe with That's My Pharaoh, 26-1. Stumbled at the break, was gaining. And you go watch that video, stretching out the 6 today on Irish Hero in that race. So things need to get involved a little bit up front. But there's a little shot at a price for you, and the band runs on. Had this one on here thinking maybe it would be a sloppy, muddy track with the bandbox factor. Maybe that's tempered just a little bit, that excitement. But a recent work, 1 of 111. And let's talk about, I'll let you talk about Westeros for Brittany Russell.
Yeah, simply put, again, it wasn't a sample of 111, but the gate work, that bullet gate work, caught my attention, especially at the 5 furlong distance. But while the half sibling hasn't done anything, the dam was a winner first time out at Keeneland for Wesley Ward. So that's kind of strictly what I'm going off of. Into Mischief, Hot Sire. What else can you say? This is a Brittany Russell for the first time starter as a 3-year-old, which she is stronger with. Yeah,
we had one for 1.7 whatever it was million. The other last week or the week before, 825,000. My just concerned this horse was out at St. Anita. They come here, we've got a good circuit here, no doubt about it. That's just I just don't know how to grasp that. They can tell me the story because I'm going to need a story for that. I'm going to go otherwise elsewhere. This horse will probably jump up and beat me at a shorter price. But 1 and a 3 I'll key around. And toss that 5 in as a price.
Yeah, I like how you toss in the 7.
In the 6th race.
Yeah, absolutely. 3-1-5-7, Keith Fustel, race number 6, race number 7, claiming 20,000, 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds, and up scratch in the 1A Sunset Town. The 6, Battle of Bastogne. I know that wasn't a value play of yours, but let's go to the other one in Abuelo Paps for Kieran McGee, Horacio Caramanos, first in the barn for McGee.
2 for 43. That's the record of Abuelo Paps. You're thinking, normally that's not a horse that I'm going to kind of zone in on. But when it's Kieran McGee and it's off the claim and it's an older horse, he's jumping up in class. It's a first-time gelding. There's a lot of angles that work for me, and he's got numbers on the go back that certainly work. He can stalk. He can pounce. He's been proven over this racetrack with some good races. So I'll take a shot here. I don't think this horse is going to come down now with these scratches. We still might get close to double digits, 10, 12-1, because the form is so dirtied up, but the respect factor for this barn off the claim is enormous. Jester Song, I thought ran very well last time out for Horacio de Paz. A little bit of a awkward break, maybe slightly up in the air. Got position a little bit closer than what I thought, though. Into that quicker flow, just a slight fade late against the right kind of horses. That's the day the 20. You wanted to be high and wide. He wasn't. So I expect him to kind of hold form, maybe even improve a little bit. And Troy Singh here, you got this one on top. Irish Warlock, yes, like this. This was a lights out effort last time. We give it the sharp comment, shortening up a furlong. Can he pair up the races and maybe improve a little bit? I saw Troy a little bit earlier today. Says the horse seems to be holding good form, so that's a positive for me. I think he'll be up close to the pace, close enough. Guaponess, you don't want to get too far away. There's some other speeds in here. Outkissed might be the speed of the speed for Robbie, but Irish Warlock, he's capable, I think, from 3 or 4 out of it mid-turn to make an impact.
There we have it, 9-2, 5-10 for Keith Fusel there in race number 7. Race number 8 is a maiden claiming 12-5, going 5.5 on the dirt. For these 3-year-old fillies, scratching the 2, life at both ends. You and I both land on TC Nay for Brittany and Sheldon Russell.
No video or video here?
No video. Sorry.
Okay, that was my fault. I think I might have sat there at the kitchen table.
And you thought
typed
about
it in. No, I think I even typed it in. And as I get older, I just forget things. Forgot to send it. That's on me. It's a good one. If you get a chance to go back and watch it, TC Nay, a world of trouble. Was going to try to advance in between horses into the VAR turn and just check, taken up. Probably lost 5 to 7 lengths around the turn, only to finish up quite well. Some questionable speed types in here. The road's going to go through Cappadocia. We're going to trust in Russell here for this one to get a cleaner trip and run down the speeds.
6-11, 1-3.
Yeah.
You include, if you wanted to talk about any Fool's Gold or Extra Dirty.
Yeah, any Fool's Gold ran big. I mean, 10 buyer, you're looking at that. But you know what? Much better visually than what that number suggests. First time Lasix today, came away poorly, made a big move, middle move, and kept on with effort. I think this one has a chance to definitely jump up second off the break.
And there we have it for
There you
our
go.
picks in race number 8. Race number 9 is an allowance optional 40, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the girls 3 and up. Keith, you have the number 3, Haley B. Let's go ahead and take a look at that effort.
Okay.
Last time out in that win prior to the layoff.
It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
Been a while. June the 10th. This one was Change Barnes back in December of 22. Bennett to Russell. And numbers, good. Up, and up. Reunites with Forget About It in here today. They've had some good battles, but it's a very good trip. This particular afternoon is going to shift out and roll by to go clear. Now, I'm looking at all the fields she's facing. Now, granted, keying up against Forget About It. I don't know if that was the absolute strongest state-bred, state-sired, other than good enough. She got a great number off of it. Looked like she had something left in the tank, but where has she been?
Right.
But this is, again, where we're going to trust in Russell, Callie. She does well with these types of horses, this type of break. Last 3 years on the dirt, 39% allowance sprints on the main track off 180-day or more layoff with it. ROI, there you go, $2. So looking at this race with some speed, cheekiness, Lady Zeta, cheekiness now is Ness. Lady Zeta off of Ness to Trombetta was able to dictate things, separated from that field 2 race last time out and got it done. But I think there's some other pace pressure for Lady Zeta to deal with. Because of that stat and seeing that, looks like she's coming back working okay. Haley B to stalk and pounce in race 9.
3-5, 2-6 for Keith Fusel there in race number 9. Race number 10, a maiden claiming 12-5. So apparently that's your big head scratcher for today, maybe, apparently at this 5.5 distance. As the 3-year-old girls, you have the number 5 on top with the scratch of the number 4 breaking rules. Skip through the fire, Dennis Arujo on top.
Looking at this race at the kitchen table, good thing there was like 3 beers left in the fridge. I had to go to it. This was just killing me looking at this race. Back and forth, back and forth. So you know who we end up on? Corrales at a big number. Skipped through the fire and hasn't been seen, patient enough. Now is able to get Lasix as she's turned 3. I look at the last race. Honeybee, Determined Blue, Sunstream, and even others in there have all stepped their game up. So that field has been productive. They've moved up, so why not? I think there's a slew of questionable speed in this race. Let's hope Rojo, they can keep it going, that jockey-trainer combo we talked about the last couple weeks. It's a good ROI. It's a good percentage. So there's a shot horse late, hopefully a get out, that we can make it work. Skip through to fire. A lot of money's going to come in on the 9 Puddin' Pie for Vera. Just drops out of the sky here from the maiden 45s. We'll be part of that flow, and maybe she's the one to stay around. But I'm going to look for somebody off the pace. It's going to be Skip Through the Fire and Champagne Dance here with Greg Wilson. And we know the kind of trip this horse is going to get with Forest Boys.
Sure, it's a bit of a no-brainer there. So, and then you also including the two harmonizing, Hugh McMahon, Gina Vello, trying to kind of off-counter those trips that your other picks are going to have.
Yeah, March 29th, you did not want to be inside. Vide inside, chasing even steady. So we'll give that one a pass off of that race. Was on that really bad inside that day. Something silly. Yeah, nothing wrong with the debut. Took a lot of play. Chased Easter around there. I just, will she sustain second out? The Rob Barno picking things up a little bit here of late. 5.829 and a real mad scramble to the wire for the end of the day. Yes.
No, that'll be interesting there. And let's talk about your other interesting pick.
Okay.
And earlier today, you have a value play, 20-1, Abuela Paps, now in the barn of Kieran McGee, Horacio Caramanos. As I mentioned, race number 7.
Yeah, I think this horse definitely is going to come down some, but I think will definitely hold value. And when you get value on a barn like McGee, you step in. I've watched this horse for a long, long time, and when he's right, I know he's only won 2 races. He's going to make an impact against this group. Changed horse, first time gelding, a little bump up. I like the confidence for the barn.
Here, Kieran knows where to place a horse, and that's what attributes to most of his success.
Sure.
So that makes a lot of sense to me as a value play. Let's talk about a horse that came in at a little bit of a less value. Now, I was out of town, but I have to bring it up. Let's talk about Post Time, who got drifted out a little bit in the Grade 2 Carter for Brittany Russell. A nice little go around there.
You're rooting for the home team here, right? You got to love this when our horses stop. Yeah, getting kind of floated there, and it doesn't bother. He's kind of just. Nothing really phases him to a point. Sometimes he can create his own little stuff, but he's maturing and he's putting it all together. I love him, as we talked about before. I love him at that 6 to 7, that one-turn races. I just think he's got that kick, a determined run. He can sustain it beautifully at those distances. Yeah, I think he can stretch out and win further? Yeah, but that's good to see for all the connections.
Where he's at now.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Yep. He knows what he's doing. He knows he won. Look at this guy. He's confident.
Yeah, he's very, very. It was nice to see a win for the home team there in the Grade 2 Carter. As we wrap things up here, we are going to head on over to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches here at the start of Friday's card.
All right, good luck, everybody.